Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers, and today we're coming to you from Samaan House at the peaceful Samaan Grove Housing Development. That means over the next half hour, it's time for us to share with you all the major news and events taking place across Tobago. We'll also bring you a closer look at this lovely property. But first, we're going to get started with the headlines. The Adventure Micro Enterprise Center has been commissioned. We'll tell you about some of the amenities you can expect at the center. Trinidad and Tobago will join the globe in observing World Meteorological Day. We'll explain why it's such an important occasion. One tourism business owner tells us how he's combating the impact of COVID-19 in the absence of international visitors. And later, we'll tell you why the effects of domestic violence can extend far beyond the victims. We have all these stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us. In our first story, it has been highly anticipated for quite some time. The Adventure Micro Enterprise Center is finally complete and tenants now have their keys. But the center will host much more than just commerce, as we hear in this report. Have a look. The Adventure Micro Enterprise Center is finally up and running and is now home to 17 businesses, including Iceland, Pinkberry, Charles Home Decor, Scott's Photography, Ashama's Wedding and Decor, MBK, and Happy Family, just to name a few. But that's not all. The Micro Enterprise Center will also house an amphitheater, a performance stage, the Plymouth Bethesda Steel Sensation, 2 food outlets, and a beer garden.
This facility was expected to be completed within that fiscal year. However, due to numerous setbacks and legal challenges during the life of the project, the completion of this facility was stymied. As a consequence of these protracted delays, and with the passage of time, the physical infrastructure of the facility suffered tremendous wear and tear and major acts of vandalism. While the task of restoring the structure seemed costly and daunting at times, this THA administration was determined to bring this project to fruition.
The commissioning of Phase 1 included all amenities except the performance stage, pan theatre, and amphitheatre.
We are hopeful that the cultural and community groups, in conjunction with residents of this area, would come together to present proposals for the use of these facilities. And in addition, they will volunteer their services for its expansion, maintenance, and upkeep.
And Chief Secretary Honorable Ansel Dennis is urging the tenants to provide exceptional customer service.
Making money or profit should not be your first objective, but I'm saying bringing value to the table, bringing value to the people of Tobago, providing a service or a product that people will be willing to pay for. Not because they wish to engage in charity, or not because they wish to just come and give their money to you, but they will pay for that good, that product, or that service simply because it adds value or brings value to them.
And they say they'll do just that.
We, the tenants of the Micro Mall, promise to provide great customer service, care, and to support and promote all businesses, to maintain the cleanliness of the building and its surrounding and environment.
The construction of the center was done in collaboration with the Division of Infrastructure, quarries, and the environment. The rate of Tobago's infrastructural development is unprecedented as the island clears a path for future growth. This time, indoor sport is getting the attention. The Backlit Indoor Sporting Complex should be completed in just over a year, and one official says it can be a game changer for Tobago's up and coming athletes. Crystal George brings you the details.
Sport plays an essential role in nation building. It's a vehicle to physical health and wellness and teaches us values like fairness, team building, equality, discipline, inclusion, and respect. Sport and recreation aid the holistic development of youth and for the greatest talents can provide a fulfilling career. A key part of sport development is making sure that the future athletes of Tobago have the resources they need to reach their potential. This is the inspiration behind the Backlit Indoor Sporting Facility.
We are here to celebrate the start of a long-awaited facility. We are very committed to ensuring that we have a space for our young people to recreate. We have a space where our young people can hone their raw talent and, of course, build on their skills so that they can compete not only at the Tobago level, but at the Trinidad and Tobago and also at the international level.
Beyond the obvious benefits of sport, the indoor sporting facility also has great economic potential. It can help promote the island through sport and leisure tourism activities. But most of all,
this is an investment in our young people today. Although we have financial challenges in Tobago and in Trinidad and Tobago, we are committed to ensuring that we find $30 million to fund this project here this morning so that, again, our young people can have a place to recreate and, I said, hone and develop their skills going forward. Sport can take us very far. It not only helps with self-development and with discipline, but it can help to advance a country's development. That is in an effort to ensure that our young people and our not so young people have the facilities that can help them to lead meaningful lives.
The facility is good news for former national netball player Anisia Batiste. She says she endured having to travel to Trinidad for practice. Now, she's elated that Tobago's future athletes won't have that experience. Anisia is thanking the Tobago House of Assembly for getting the project started. She says it's more than just a building.
Just imagine I can get up and travel to the conveniently placed facility next to the Dwight York Stadium and come to training, while someone else for once takes a plane ride. The facility is not just a court. It is an incubation center for the talents of Tobagonians to be more comfortably harvested. It is not just a structure. It is the investment and commitment of the Division of Sport and Youth Affairs, and by large the Tobago House of Assembly, into the development of sport and the performance of our athletes.
Aside from the indoor court, the center will feature public seating, a multi-purpose room, gym and medical rooms, a vending concession area, an association office, and more. The Backlit Indoor Sporting Facility will host sports such as table tennis, netball, basketball, futsal, and volleyball. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Now this, meteorologists don't always get the credit they deserve, but they keep us informed about many key issues from climate change and shifting weather patterns to the threats of adverse weather and natural disasters like hurricanes. So World Met Day shines a light on their contributions. And as this year's celebration approaches, we caught up with some of our friendly weather scientists to get some insight on why their role is so important. Crystal George explains.
It's a common saying, what you don't know can hurt you, especially when it comes to adverse weather conditions, natural disasters, even climate change. So although World Meteorological Day, celebrated on March 23rd every year, often flies under the radar, it's very important. Since 1950, it's been bringing attention to key Met services that help us decide how we work, travel, and even care for the environment. This year's theme for World Met Day is The the ocean, our climate and weather.
World Meteorological Day showcases the essential contribution of national meteorological and hydrological services to the safety and well-being of society. It also marks the launch of the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development 2021 to 2030.
Meteorologists predict the weather and study the causes of particular weather conditions using information obtained from the land, sea, and the upper atmosphere. It's easy to take their contributions for granted, but they are critical just the same.
Meteorological station is held at highly responsible for making sure that whatever data they record and give to the air traffic control, to give to the pass on to the pilots and so forth, that it is must be accurate, high in accuracy. Besides that, we issue what we call as a tourism weather forecast, which is a Tobago product. In addition to that, when we have incoming systems that are deemed to be could be impactful on the island of Tobago, we would advise TEMA.
These meteorologists attached to the Tobago Met Service Center share some insight into their day-to-day routine.
Monitoring, analyzing and interpreting meteorological data, which assists me in making daily forecasts, as well as I prepare forecasts for dissemination at designated times during the day, as well as I also provide information to stakeholders on weather conditions as they occur.
Conceptual weather, for example, today we look outside and know that, okay, we have this kind of weather today because of something. Tomorrow we may have it because the models are looking the same tomorrow, right? So we analyze the data and then we do a forecast.
This state-of-the-art Met Service Center is located at Crumston Trace in Crown Point. It's got the latest smart technology to serve Tobago's meteorological needs. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
It is time to take a break, but when we return, we talk to a local tourism business owner to see how he's adapting to COVID-19. Don't go away. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. This villa is equipped with music throughout, both indoors and outdoors, that you can adjust using your phone. There are also one-touch buttons that turn on and off all lights as well as appliances. You can experience the surround sound feel of a home theater system just for your enjoyment. We're back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, we all know the impact the ongoing pandemic has been having on businesses worldwide, especially the tourism sector. But one entrepreneur is using the opportunity to adapt his strategy and to prepare his business to take full advantage of any future opportunities. Omodara Mills gives us the lowdown in this next story.
Alex Ned is captivated by the ocean, so it's no wonder he's made his livelihood from Tobago's marine environment. His tourism-based business, Waterholics, provides a thrilling experience for visitors to the island. From adrenaline-packed jet ski rides to more leisurely activities like kayaking, stand-up paddling, and banana boat rides. Mr. Ned says Waterholics has grown since it was established around 2006. It now caters to various outdoor activities, such as land and sea tours, and provides all-inclusive vacation packages to suit your budget.
We book everything for you, and at a click of a button, you could press pay. And as you arrive at the airport, your car rental reaches you, your accommodation is ready for you, your glass bottom boat tour is ready for you. You want to do a private setting with your significant other or with your group. We have these private functions that we do decor and stuff as well. So we created this platform, anything you need. You want to go Little Tobago, you want to go Pirates Bay. So island tours, waterfall tours, you name it, anything, one click, one destination.
Like many businesses on the island, the COVID-19 pandemic has given Waterholics quite a rough ride, but Mr. Ned has been able to keep the business afloat. A grant from the Business Development Unit helped him to ramp up Waterholics' digital marketing.
There's no doubt people are looking to get away. Tobago is that getaway. And as I said, digital marketing is the most unique marketing at the moment. And by you showing the right content, providing the right service, word of mouth, you know what I mean? And that's how you get the repeat business.
Mr. Ned started in the tourism business more than 20 years ago as a scuba diver. Over the years, he's seen the contributions of tourism to the island's economy. He believes projects like the upgrade and expansion of the ANR Robinson International Airport will benefit tourism as well as other sectors.
Expanding the airport is a very good idea. It's going to be open a lot more doors to international flights. Business tourism will grow in a major way when it comes to that whole thing. You know what? One thing I love about the tourism product, it trickles on to everyone.
Waterholics is located near the entrance of Pigeon Point Heritage Park. You can connect with the Waterholics team through Facebook at Tobago Waterholics, Instagram via Waterholics Tobago, or on the web at waterholicstobago.com. You can also call or message via WhatsApp to 1-868-317-1607. I'm Omodara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
She's multi-talented, a dancer, an actress, a model, a national netballer, and an artist, all rolled into one. And the talented Anisia Batiste is demonstrating that there's always a silver lining in any challenging experience by turning her passion for art into a promising business. Our cameras caught up with Anisia to bring you her story. She first displayed her skills publicly as a finalist in the Office of the Chief Secretary's art competition. Now, Anisia Batiste is the owner of Sana by Nisi, a company that offers various services in the art industry, such as sip and paint events. Anisia says art was once her secret talent. She used it as a safe space to release her emotions. Now, she's an entrepreneur, making the most of her gifts since July 2020, even in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I always had a creative passion, and I love to create, I love to paint, I love to design, especially by computer, graphic design. And so I would have taken a course with the School of Practical Accounting, a beginners in graphic design, which I would have left with a distinction in that course, and I would have pursued a diploma in graphic design also online. You know, COVID and everything happening at Shaw Academy. And eventually, one of my cousins, I should say, she usually has these sip and paint sessions, and she invited me once to come and teach at the session, but it's the first time I had ever done it. And from there, person started to reach out to me asking me when you're going to do your own, but it's not something I would say I had thought of so much, because I had already been doing graphic design, creating logos, creating tunes, and I do animation as well.
While Anisia is simply pursuing her passion, it's just the beginning of her abilities. She's a final year student in the University of Trinidad and Tobago, pursuing a Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree in Performing Arts, specializing in dance. Anisia says while she loves dance, she saw the need to tap into a new market in Tobago. She's had 60 sessions thus far. However, she finds ways to interlink her passions.
Between dance, sports, and the arts, I find ways to tie them in together. Dance is a passion that also helps me with sports, because I experience a symbiotic relation between sports and dance. The different skills I learn kind of transfer over. Even when I'm doing art, sometimes I find myself painting a lot of stuff influenced by dancers or movements. So everything connects at the end of the day.
Anisia says her inspiration comes from her differently abled elder sister, and it's magnified by the smiles on the faces of her clients.
Art is seen as basically a form of therapy, and I feel like when persons come, I always pray and ask that they leave feeling refreshed or joyed, or if you're stressed or you're feeling any kind of tension, that it's released during this session.
If you'd like to find out more about the services offered by Anisia, check out the Instagram page at Sana by Nisi. Trinidad and Tobago recently joined the rest of the world in celebrating International Women's Day, which commemorates the contributions women continue to make in all spheres of society. In this country, the issue of violence against women is getting significant attention, and one expert says its effects goes way beyond the experience of victims of violence. Omodara Mills tells us more.
1 in 3 women have experienced either physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. It's a World Health Organization statistic that includes many women and girls in our country. Any form of violence against women, whether physical, emotional, sexual, or psychological, has ripple effects on the people around them. In fact, it can be quite traumatic for children who witness acts of domestic violence.
And you may notice that children may act out, so they may have issues with schoolwork, or they may start, being aggressive in their behavior, etc. Children may start believing that that's the way that they interact with things, because children, pick up from, cues of adults. So they may think that that's how they could behave. They may adapt those behaviors and then eventually become perpetrators or even victims of abuse.
In situations involving kidnapping, human trafficking, and death, many questions are left unanswered. Dr. Benjamin says this can result in negative emotional responses from family, relatives, and even the wider public.
Families could start asking themselves why, and why this happened to her, why was she chosen, how did she die, how exactly did she die, what was she thinking just before she died. All those things are probably playing out in the family member's mind, or even persons in society. Because we may realize now that women are more hypervigilant. We may realize that women are like, I don't want to pursue this anymore because I don't know if I'll be safe in this space.
Experiencing violence can also lead to reduced productivity at work.
It is very important for us to treat with it for our health, for our well-being, and for the productivity of society. Because the thing is, these persons need to go to work, or try to go to work at least. They might go to work, they're late, or they show up, they're not regular in terms of their attendance, and we think, oh, that's just a problem person. But it could be that they're dealing with violence. This thing, it needs to be treated with for us to grow and thrive as a community and as a society.
International Women's Day is celebrated on March 8th. It commemorates the contributions women make in every sphere of society. The day also highlights the impact of violence against women and the need to support victims of abuse. If you or someone you know needs help, call the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development at 639-3395, extension 47214. You can also dial 211 toll-free. A service representative will connect you to an officer at the division's Gender Affairs Unit. I'm Omodara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up next, one young man is making a name for himself in the world of fashion. We'll tell you more when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us. This super breezy 3-bedroom villa is decorated in a modern Caribbean style with views of the pools from your bed. It's got just the right mix of technology and modern amenities to help make your stay more enjoyable. It features a fully equipped kitchen, a wine chiller, dishwasher, and a double ovens for those who want to make the best of their vacation while relaxing indoors. And if you're a whiz in the kitchen who likes to get in some sunshine, the outdoor kitchen comes complete with a barbecue grill and fireside stove. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. We head now to Blackrock for our final story as we introduce to you a young fashion designer and a creative director who's creating a name for himself in the local fashion industry. Here's more in this story. He graduated top of his batch in the fashion design program at the University of Trinidad and Tobago just 3 years ago. Fast forward to 2021, and Daniel Clark, owner of streetwear fashion brand Fluorescent Black, is working on leaving his mark on the fashion industry. The Blackrock native has styled local celebrities like Nyla Blackman. Now he's launched his 2021 collection called Massa Strut.
It was taken from the reference of slaves who would have tried to emulate what the slave masters would have done, whether it be through religious ceremony, whether it be through weddings, whether it be through just different types of practices that they would have kind of assimilated. And I just kind of wanted to show what a modern day take on that would look like.
Daniel didn't just launch a line. He opened his new store at the Port Mall, located in Scarborough, and it focuses on Black culture.
More of a pragmatic style of fashion that includes a lot more structured pieces like jeans and jackets and things that you would wear on the go rather than things for more function.
The space houses a production room. It will be used to help upcoming local fashion designers by exposing them to the intricacies behind fashion design. The space will also host design workshops.
I wanted to ensure that I had a space that I would have been able to work and do production in, as well as I also wanted this space to be somewhat of a hub for younger persons who might be interested in fashion design and don't necessarily have those opportunities to explore those options. I recently had a year 1 student of the UTT program who would have been here and working in this space, and I was able to help and assist.
And of course, there are ready-to-wear items in store. Or if you are in need of something custom-made, those services are also provided at Fluorescent Black. And it's now time to have your say with Marlon Gottslieben. This is the segment of our program where we hear from you, our viewers. So now we'll have a look at who had their say this week.
It's a... No one can ask question. What do you question?
The name is A. It's one of you spelling things.
That's a quick question. Nothing.
There's no hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
It's that time again. It's have your say time again. And today I would like to stay on the issue of relationship. And this is something that has been reoccurring over and over every single year in terms of abuse by the men and women as well, but men more so. So this leads us to our question today. What do you think can be done for men to be a bit more open in relationship or communicate a bit more? Here's what you said.
It's a society thing. It's a society breakdown, so you have to be a society builder.
I love women, I appreciate women because women I come from.
Probably when women talk to them a little bit nicer, a little bit more loving.
As long as the man trusts the woman, he should be able to open up to shit, vice versa.
Respect is not a gift, You have to earn respect. Understanding a relationship is a 50-50, not 75-25. All a boy does want from his other half is respect and appreciation.
I think the ladies need to be a bit more gentle with men so that they will be able to open up.
We as men, and most time in a relationship, men just think that they're always right, you dig? And it has some women wouldn't stand for that. You dig? It has some women won't stand for that, and I believe that is what we men have to understand. That the same way we think is sometimes how women may think.
A woman's strength is her mouth, but yes, that is true, but still, you have to, just as your strength is your mouth, you can use your mouth to say, babes, how was your day? I love you. That has go a long way.
I've realized a lot in Tobago, a lot of women are very aggressive towards men, and they don't want you to be that aggressive. Just be gentle, speak to men, tell them exactly what you want, and I think they will sooner come around.
Women need to then probably speak to them in a nice way. Let them know how loving and caring they are and appreciative that they are here, or that they're helping out in life somehow. Either by being a good father, a good brother, even a gentleman.
If they know God and if they love themselves, because you say love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you love yourself, you would love others and you would do unto others as you have them do unto you.
The name is A. It's one of you spelling things.
That's a quick question. Nothing.
There's no hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
So we have come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, for more information on Samaan House, you can call 398-4552 or 39-VILLA, or you can also email them at samaanhouse@hotmail.com. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and fantastic week. We now leave you with a montage of Samaan House. Do enjoy.